Patience is great, but I need sales tomorrow. What do I do? Well, lots to do. Good morning, everybody. Today, Ruby and myself are talking about a lot of people out there lack patience for a lot of good reasons. Sometimes it's about budget and money and profitability and some really important things. So I preach a lot of patience. Reality sometimes gets in the way of that. And so today, let's talk a little bit about short-term things. What can we do quickly? What are the things that can be out there in market to go out and help sales teams, get sales? So bottom line, let's assume that you've got good pricing, that you're competitive, that your product is good, service is good. Now you're just really trying to get in front of people who are actively in market. And now how do we do that quickly? So let's break it down. So A, you should be targeting people. This should not be an open-ended discussion. So your ideal client profile, your ICP, is extremely important. Who should you be talking to? You need that defined very tightly. Once you're there, you can then begin to target people who fit that profile. And then you can start looking at the people that give you the signals back that they are now in market. They are what we would call high-intent buyers. So doing that, finding those ICPs, finding those personas of decision makers, giving them ammunition for discussion and interest, like what is it that we're trying to promote, and then what tactics will get me in front of them. So we can break it down in two ways. One, account-based marketing. We'll use that terminology. We're going to target my ideal client company, target company. I'm going to go out and put information in front of them at scale with very specific calls to action to get them to activate, to do something. That could be an offer, that could be something time-bound, that could be something interesting. So it's not a, hey, did you know we're here? It's like, hey, we have this offering. Here's something that you should consider. Here's why this is important. So that becomes a piece of it. Secondly, from there, we can do things like key account targeting. So that's more of a sales function. So account-based marketing is to go out and put a message in front of our client on repeat, highly targeted. Now we take that information, we define those buyer types. Who are they? What are they? What do they need to know? How do they need to know it? Break it down all the time. And then you start looking at it from an account-based perspective. So then, if we're going to do cold outreach, which I don't love, but here we are, how do we make sure that we're doing the right thing? So A, are we talking about the things that this key account needs to know? And it's about them, it's not about us. So is there issues of value chain, supply chain, a million different issues that they might face? Can we put some messaging in our sales team's hands to go out and push that discussion with some intended accounts? So again, if we're going to do cold outreach, what are we outreaching about? And it's not about us, it's about them. Can we at least establish some relationships within these target organizations to make it a better conversation? So short-term, cold outreach, you're trying to book meetings. So can we book some meetings based upon having a value prop that is interesting to our buyer? And that could be about us, but it's more likely about them. What are they facing? Challenges, issues. Hopefully we're giving more than we're receiving here in terms of, that feedback loop. We want them to know we're here. And so that's something that can be done very quickly, very short term, highly targeted, highly value add for the buyer, not us, with the goal and hope that we're going to book some meetings here that will then push that agenda. So again, you really need to know what your sales cycles look like. If you're trying to get deals in the next 90 days and you're not really considerative of how long it takes these deals to come together, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice. So if it's a 100-day sales cycle, a 200-day sales cycle, and you're trying to get deals in the next 90 days, well, holy mackerel, you've got to get somebody that's really far down the pipeline. Anyway, today, think about that. Walking and talking with Ruby.